Daily basis, and I appreciate your continued support. This morning I would like to recognize some of our guests. Garrison Commander Colonel Brian Lasky, thank you very much for coming this morning, as well as Garrison Command Sergeant Major Christopher Cook. We very much appreciate your support this morning. As always, our business breakfast briefings are an important opportunity to bring the community together with Fort Drum, to learn more about what is going on at Fort Drum from our senior leadership. We also try to highlight programs and services that exist between Fort Drum and our communities, as well as businesses that benefit the military. So as always, we are open to your thoughts for programming for future business breakfast briefings. So please see me if there's something that interests you. Because again, this is about you, our members, and bringing information to you that helps your businesses on a daily basis in your organizations. So if there's any thoughts or ideas that you have for future programming, please come and see us. We greatly appreciate it. Today's business breakfast briefing will highlight our friends and partners at Fort Drum Morale, Welfare, and Recreation, also known as MWR, and better opportunities for single soldiers, or BOSS. AUSA partners frequently with both organizations, and both are an asset to Fort Drum and our community. Later in the program, I will brief you on our chapter's events over the past few months, since our last business breakfast briefing, and about upcoming events. And we will also recognize several businesses for membership milestones with our chapter. So at this time, I would like to kick off our morning with a brief from our new Garrison Commander, Colonel Brian Lasky.
I'm going to stand up here because I'm against the wall back there. So, first of all, I want to thank you for inviting me out here. It's great to be out with everybody this morning and see a lot of familiar faces. As I get to know the community, I see the same folks, and it reminds me of one of my old commanders used to, every time we ran into each other, he ought to say, same drunks, different bar. But it's really no wonder how this community functions so well. The key folks are always involved in everything, and it's really amazing the work you do. So up front, I thought I'd tell you a little bit about myself, being a new guy in town. And first thing, I'm married with 2 little girls. My wife is from Hungary, so they speak Hungarian around the house. So generally, I don't know what the heck's going on. And so I like things like fishing and golfing and skiing, where I get to just talk to myself in English. So that's why I do those things. And that's why it's great to come out with things like this, where I get to talk to people and not listen to Hungarian all the time. But I'm a Special Forces soldier, so we've spent most of our time living overseas and probably had a higher than normal number of deployments. Some to the usual places, Iraq, Afghanistan, Balkans. Some of the not so usual places like North Africa, West Africa, and some other places. But we've been able to live in some very nice places in Europe and other places. But I will say that it is great to be here at Fort Drum, and this is certainly at the top, if not, or near the top of any place we've been. And we're really happy to be here. And so far, it's just been a great experience getting integrated into this community. But it's really important for us to remember that the military community of Fort Drum is still in fight. We're coming up on a period where we're going to be very busy here through the fall and pretty much the whole next year. You have the 1st Brigade Combat Team on its way to Iraq right now, the 2nd Brigade Combat Team already in Afghanistan, the 3rd Brigade Combat Team, which is down at Fort Polk, is on the way to Afghanistan. The 10th Combat Aviation Brigade will soon be in 3 different continents simultaneously, which is pretty significant. And then you have the division headquarters with General Bannister and his staff headed to Afghanistan a little later this fall. So very high op-tempo continues for the military community that you guys help so wonderfully. And that we have to remember that, of course, with the families that stay behind, and that's where you guys are so important and do such a fabulous job with the work you do, in not only this organization, but the many organizations I know a number of you represent most of the time. Looking towards the winter, we're already preparing for the winter weather here at Fort Drum as a garrison. We're getting our snow removal equipment ready, and we're looking at our overhires to operate that equipment, which is always something we have to explain to the Army for some reason. You would think the winter is different at Fort Drum sometimes, but we know it isn't. So I'm originally from Wisconsin, so I'm kind of used to winters, and I made a mistake of saying hit me with your best shot when I got here, but from the stories I've heard that it may be worse in Wisconsin here. So I'm getting mentally prepared. Hopefully my body will respond as well, and I'll get through it, and we'll all get through it. If you haven't heard, we have a new general officer on board already. Brigadier General Andrew Rowland is in town and getting integrated very quickly with not only the division side with General Bannister, but also with the garrison. So right now the plan is for him to remain behind and be the acting senior commander, but I've heard that may change shortly, and we'll get another general officer in town, but he'll be here at least for a period of time. And we will integrate with him, and then he'll be working back here. And General Bannister says the sun never sets on the 10th Mountain Patch, and that will certainly be the case here come the end of November, as all these deployments are completed and everybody is pretty much spread around the world. When I first learned of my assignment here at Fort Drum, I started talking to people who've been here before, and I think the most common theme was they were just impressed by how well integrated the post is with the community and the military community is with the community. And aside from the weather, of course, they mention that all the time as well. So I knew it was cold, but this integration with the community was something I took a lot of interest in. I didn't really understand it, frankly, until I got here, and started getting out to meet people and participate in a lot of these organizations. And as I said, a lot of the common folks are in all these organizations, and I just am really taken back on how well integrated the community is with the military garrison, with the division. And it's just an impressive thing to see since I've been here. And the special effort you make to be involved with the military community really has, for me, made this assignment so far very special. And I'm very proud to be here and honored, and my family just loves the area. So it's been a great experience for us, and I thank you for that, and I thank you for inviting me here this morning. It's a pleasure to be out here and get to talk to you. Thanks.
And I know it goes without saying that during these next few months and the next year, we look forward to working with you and also with General Rowling.